Welcome back to my channel for another adventure in the kitchen. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be making a crock-pot version of Swedish meatballs. So these aren't true traditional Swedish meatballs, but if you happen to be craving them and don't have a lot of time to spend in the kitchen, these will kind of satisfy that craving. So the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to put 2 tablespoons of water into a container, and then you're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour. So we're just going to put the 2 tablespoons of flour in there, and then you're just going to stir that up and make sure it is combined. As you can see, this isn't really working well, so I'm going to go ahead and get this stirred, and I will be right back. Okay, so this is what it will look like. As you can see, it is still quite thick, and that is completely fine. All right, so the next step, you're just going to set that aside for a couple seconds, and the next step is to take 2 cups of beef broth. Now you have a couple options here. You can use beef broth. You can buy it. You can make your own. You can also use bouillon cubes in water, which is what I am choosing to do for mine. So I used 3 bouillon cubes for 2 cups of water. Just as a personal preference, typically it is 1 bouillon cube per 1 cup of water. I wanted a bit of a stronger beef flavor, so this is a 3 bouillon cubes to 2 cups of water. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and pour your beef broth into your crock pot. Did not put the meatballs in yet, and you'll find out why in a little bit. And then the next step is going to be to add that water and flour mixture. So since I'm doing this one-handed, I'm going to go ahead and add that mixture off camera, and then I will be right back. Alright, so as you can see there, we did add I don't know why my camera's not focusing. There we go. We did add the flour and water mixture to the beef broth. Alright, so then the next step is going to be to add some onion powder. And again, on this channel, we season with our hearts. And then we're going to add some garlic powder. All right, and now the next step is to add 1 10.5 ounce can of cream of mushroom condensed soup. And then you're obviously just going to want to break that up a little bit, just to kind of stir it in with the rest of the gravy mixture. All right, and it is totally okay if it's still a little bit chunky, if it hasn't all dissolved. That is completely okay, because it will melt and dissolve once it is cooking. So next we're going to add a packet of brown gravy mix. And again, we're just going to kind of stir that a bit to get the powder to dissolve. Okay, and then the next step is to add 1 24-ounce bag of frozen meatballs. And now you're just going to want to give this a little bit of a stir, just to make sure that the meatballs are incorporated in with the gravy mixture. All right, and that is it. The next step is to just put the lid on, and then you're going to cook it on either low for 4 to 6 hours or high for 2 to 4 hours. I always like to do low. So we're just going to put it on low for 6 hours, and I will be back to check on it in a couple hours, just to kind of give it a stir. Alright, so we are back and we are almost done here. This is what it looks like after about 5 hours. This is what it looks like. You can see that the gravy has thickened up a bit. So the last step before you get ready to eat it is to add 3/4 of a cup of sour cream. You can add a little bit more or a little bit less, kind of depending on your preferences. I'm adding a little bit less just because of what we had on hand. So you're just going to go ahead and add that in and then stir that in with the rest of the gravy. And you're just going to let it cook just for a little bit longer. Not too much longer, probably just like 15-20 minutes, and then it will be ready to serve. And as far as what you serve this with, you can serve it over egg noodles or mashed potatoes, or I guess even just on its own it is delicious. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any ideas for other recipes you'd like to see, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I will see you next time.